Hi, this is Michael with Peace and Favor, where we help you find your path to peace. Thanks for taking time to watch this video. We're going to continue on the topic of home. Consider that the men and women torn from Africa and taken to North America long to return to their homelands. They dreamed of walking familiar paths and speaking or hearing their native tongue, wearing their tribal garb, eating traditional meals, participating in rites of passage and taking part in village celebrations. They dreamed of returning home where there they had little to no contact with foreigners. In a relatively short period, they went from being immersed in a community of people with common physical features, language, religion, clothing, only to be forcefully imprisoned, transported to another country, and subsumed by a hostile society that purposely dehumanized and abused them. Shortly after arriving in the new land and sold into slavery, they began to have children via forced breeding or rape. Those children were born and raised in an extremely hostile environment, having only heard older slaves talk about Mother Africa. Initially, the slaves spoke about their personal experience of freedom prior to being enslaved. However, the generation of boys and girls born into slavery could only speak of what they learned from the African captives. Those lessons quickly moved from recollection to myths, stories, and seems like fairy tales. The slaves were violently taught that the key to survival was subservience and assimilation. Anything associated with their African heritage was anathema and quickly, verbally or physically rebutted. The psychological strategies utilized in reference to slavery greatly impacted the perspectives and behaviors of both the slaver, the enslaved, and the society that benefited from it. It is no wonder that slaves, adults, and children began to see the oppressors as a people to be admired and imitated. It was obvious that they knew the key to succeeding in this land. Quick subtext. To subsume means to include or absorb something, an idea, case, or an item, as part of a larger, more comprehensive whole, often causing the smaller element to lose its individual identity within the broader category or rule. In other words, when I said that the Africans were subsumed into American society, they were absorbed into, to the point where they lost their individual identity. Many people did. Most did. There are some who refused to lose track of who they were. That I'm very, very, very thankful for. So where every effort was made to erase who we were and where we were from, there are those who always battle to keep our stories alive and keep our heritage true and honored. This is Michael with Peace and Favor. Hope you have a great rest of your day. God bless.